Hello. Today we would like to talk about International Criminal Court, popularly known as ICC. So first of all, ICC was created in 2002 by the Rome Statute. Rome Statute, which is considered to be founding treaty of ICC, was a result of series of talks between more than 100 countries between 1995 to 1998. And then countries started ratifying it. Ultimately, Rome Statute came into picture in 2002 or came into effect in 2002. What does ICC do? It investigates very or most serious human rights abuses. It's headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands. The Hague city also houses Permanent Court of Arbitration and, more importantly, International Court of Justice, which is an important organ of UN. And ICJ is the only UN institution which is not located physically in United States of America. As we have already talked about, ICC does not investigate other human rights abuses and can only investigate crimes that have taken place in 125 states which have signed the Rome Statute. Similarly, a crime occurred before 2002 is beyond jurisdiction of the ICC. Since 2021, ICC's chief prosecutor has been Karim Khan. There is one thing we need to understand right in the beginning: ICC and a country's sovereignty. So there are many countries, including very powerful countries like US, Russia, China, Syria, North Korea, India. They have not yet signed ICC and they are not going to do it in the foreseeable future because they guard their sovereignty, or they're very sensitive about their sovereignty, or they guard their sovereignty very judiciously. So because of the issue called sovereignty, they have not yet signed it. There are few things which we need to keep in mind in terms of limitations or short or limitations of the ICC. First limitation, which is important, is it has no police force at its disposal. It has to rely on member states to implement its verdicts, its arrest warrants. So, for example, former Sudanese president Umar al-Bashir was wanted by the court for war crimes. Remember his role in Darfur. So, it has long been argued that Umar Bashir or the force created by him, Janjaweed, violated people's human rights in an area called Darfur. So for that, ICC had issued arrest warrants against him. But as head of the state, he was protected in Sudan, and no foreign state detained him when he traveled in Africa. When he traveled to India once. There is one more thing we need to keep in mind. ICC has got a very poor track record when it comes to convictions. So by 2023, ICC had secured only 10 convictions. 10 convictions since 2002. And in 2017, African Union states threatened to withdraw from the ICC. How many? In 2017, African Union states threatened to withdraw from the ICC, declaring that it was biased against Africa or it targeted Africa disproportionately. So this created a legitimacy crisis for the court. Similarly, in 2019, Philippines left the ICC in protest at its investigation into alleged extrajudicial killings during the government's drug war. Okay, one more limitation is if ICC issues an arrest warrant against a sitting head of the state, it is not going to be honored by that particular state. Plus, it's difficult for even member countries to arrest such an individual. You see here, in 2023, ICC issued arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin for his involvement in Ukrainian war. Remember, Russia invaded Ukraine on 24th of February 2022. So, according to its chief prosecutor Karim Khan, he argues that in this type of crime, one doesn't need to be a lawyer. One needs to be a human being to understand that whatever Putin did was not something good. It was violation of human rights of Ukrainian children. They were sent to Russia. However, Russia does not recognize ICC's jurisdiction. Similarly, United States does not do that. India does not do that. China does not do that. And Kremlin swiftly condemned the warrant as an act of clear hostility. Limitations of the ICC, more limitations. So, difficulty of arresting suspects, challenge of gathering evidence from potentially uncooperative states, the significant number of states that have not signed the Rome Statute, including 3 members of UN Security Council, which we have already talked about. Russia is not part of it. China has never ratified it. United States has never ratified it. It is not going to ratify it in future. There is one more thing. There is a non-profit organization in United States which even wanted ICC to prosecute Joe Biden, the former president, and some of his cabinet colleagues like Anthony Blinken. But it was more symbolic because ICC is not recognized by United States of America. Similarly, in 2024, and this is very interesting, ICC issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister and similarly Hamas military commander. These warrants relate to alleged war crimes committed in Gaza, but nothing has happened so far because it's very difficult for any country to arrest Netanyahu as he enjoys American security or American protection or unconditional American support. And very soon, in the recent past, he made a visit to Hungary, met Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, and he actually did not arrest him, or he even applied for getting out of actually ICC. So, since Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant, they have been issued arrest warrant. So it says that now they face the risk of arrest if they travel to any of the 125 countries that are parties to the Rome Statute. Again, it's very difficult, though. While enforcement remains uncertain, the legal obligation on signatory states to cooperate with ICC creates a significant diplomatic constraint on their international mobility. For example, the United States, which is not a member of the ICC, see this development has also highlighted accusations of double standards in international justice. US welcomed the court's issuance of arrest warrants against Russian President Vladimir Putin because at the time it was Joe Biden government which was supporting Ukraine or Europeans' support for Ukraine and other officials for war crimes committed in Ukraine. So, United States welcomed arrest warrants against Putin, but did not welcome arrest warrants against Netanyahu. United States has strongly opposed ICC's move against Israeli leaders. This is something we need to understand. This inconsistency has drawn sharp criticism from many UN member states, particularly those from the global south, who argued that the application of international law remains selective and politically influenced, undermining the ICC's legitimacy and claims to impartiality. ICC jurisdiction on Israel. How does ICC enjoy jurisdiction on Israel when Israel is not part of Rome Statute or it has not signed Rome Statute? Actually, UN General Assembly granted non-voting rights to Palestine. That led to Palestine being acceded to the Rome Statute in 2015. So Palestine acceded to the Rome Statute in 2015 and ICC ruled in 2021 that it was a state. It was a state. Hence, ICC jurisdiction applies to Palestine. and Israel commits war crimes in Palestine. Hence, ICC can prosecute or can issue arrest warrants against Israel. And that is the reason ICC did that. But the United States did not support it. United States threatened to actually uh, to do to take some action against four justices of ICC. Thank you very much. Just to give you a quick point here, ICC has not been ratified by India. Similarly, Sudan is not party to ICC. The Rome Statute empowers the UN Security Council to refer crimes of atrocity committed in any country to the legal body for investigation. So, although ICC is an independent body created by Rome Statute in 2002, but the Security Council is empowered to refer a matter to ICC. See here, there is an example. The Security Council referred Sudan to the court in 2005 over the humanitarian situation in an area called Darfur, and Libya in 2011, though neither country is a member of the court. There are some more limitations quickly. It tries individuals, not states, limited to 4 crimes, jurisdiction limited to member states, major powers haven't signed it or haven't become part of it. It relies on state cooperation for arrests. Many states refuse to hand over their nationals accused of bias against African nationals. Subject to UN Security Council veto power, no enforcement mechanism. Many arrest warrants remain unexecuted. Putin has never been arrested. Umar Bashir never arrested. Netanyahu has never been arrested, will never be arrested, I think. Thank you.